your lessons yet. The little piece of paper that I gave to you all. I'm a cue when I want you all to read that, okay? I don't want you all sneak peeking. All right? Listen to this. When confronted with a problem involving the use of the reasoning faculties, individuals of strong intellect keep their poise and seek to reach a solution by obtaining facts bearing upon the question. Those of immature mentality, on the other hand, when similarly confronted, are overwhelmed. While the former may be qualified to solve the riddle of their own destiny, the latter must be led like a flock of sheep and taught in simple language. They depend almost entirely upon the ministrations of the shepherd. The Apostle Paul said that these little ones must be fed with milk, but that meat is the food of strong men. Hopefully y'all caught that milk and meat thing. That actually came from a previous lesson that I did. And I really, as I was putting together this lesson, I have this book. This is from Manly P. Hall, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Y'all can write that down if you want. Put it up in the library. It'll be a good book to reference. But our theme for the month is zeal, which by definition is a great enthusiasm or energy in the pursuit of a cause or objective. If y'all can remember the last time I spoke, it was on the subject of milk versus solid food as a metaphor for gaining a deeper understanding of biblical symbols and how their internalization leads to a transformation of our thoughts, words, and deeds. In light of the passage I just read, I know that the reference it makes to individuals with strong intellect, meat or solid food eaters, and those who are qualified to solve the riddle of their own destiny, are those who are seated before me right now. Right?
Yeah. That's right.
Yes, you are?
Yeah. That's right.
Y'all ready for the meat, the solid food?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to bring it this Sunday. All right? I know one of the primary reasons many of you are here is in fact because you are done with what the quote describes as the ministrations of the shepherd. In the words of Raison D'etre, comparable to the fact that hearing sermons and reading books on moral behavior will make you as moral as reading books on healing will heal your illnesses. Want to say that again?
Yes.
Hearing sermons and reading books on moral behavior will make you as moral as reading books on healing will heal your illnesses. Reading and hearing stories Sunday after Sunday, Christmas after Christmas, Easter after Easter, year after year about Christ is not enough. As Reverend Reggie reminds us each and every Sunday, it's time for us to not simply be Christ-like, but actually what? To become the Christ. We've got to put some work in, and hopefully this lesson will aid us in the process. I mean, if you all want to. Do you want to?
Yes.
All right, we're going to do some work today. This is almost like a workshop because there's going to be, I'm going to ask you all to do some work. If you can't do it today, then do it throughout this week. Let this lesson be a prompt for you all to begin this work, okay? There's another thing about this process, as you will see later. There are many paths. What I'll be speaking about today is just one of the many. It's up to you whether you choose to take any of them and how far you'll go once you start. No one's judging you and your progress. It's completely up to you and what type of life you want to live. We're getting out of that judging mentality, okay? It's up to you and what you want to do with your life, all right? We got to get rid of that fear that causes us to think that there's some kind of time frame or some type of timeline, okay? It's up to you. You have to find that place in yourself that you want to begin to do this work. I don't know about you all, but personally, I choose to have this abundant life that Jesus and many other Christs speak of. For me, it's time to become, to do even greater things, to be what I am in all of its complexity, its simplicity, and its greatness, to be the highest expression of love, kindness, humility, creativity, power, romance, justice, health, help, persistence, whatever else comes to you all's mind. All these qualities and the urges we have to manifest them start with us choosing which of these infinite qualities of God we wish to embody and express, and then using our spiritual enthusiasm or zeal to manifest them in our experience. It's time to solve the riddle of our own destiny, as that previous quote talked about. It's time to make meaning of our life and no longer be limited to what meaning others have placed on it for us, or the ministrations of the shepherd. I'm not the shepherd here today. Hopefully I'm empowering you all to be your own shepherd. That's one of the focuses of this ministry. You're done with milk, right? That's right. Are you done? You're grown-ups? I mean, there's some children in here. They can have some milk. But soon it'll be time for them to get off the milk as well. I just wanted to make sure, because before I move on, and some of you all choke on this solid food, I thought it was some milk. Anyway, I entitled this lesson, Raison D'etre. All right. Anybody ever heard of that concept? That word? Yeah.
Reason for being.
Oh, come up here. Help me. It is a phrase I borrowed from the French, where it means reason for being. This term, however, also expresses within it. Once our reason for being is identified, or in other words, now what? Once the reason an object exists is defined, our criteria to measure the object's degree of success can be enumerated or ordered. So basically, once we define what our purpose is, what are we going to do with it, and what is the best process to determine that success? Okay? And I like to keep it interesting. So, if anything, you walk away from here today knowing a little French. Sometimes other languages, older or ancient languages, often contain words with layered understandings which take us a little deeper. So that's why I consulted the French for this term to kind of guide our lesson today. When I was given this topic of zeal to speak on today, almost immediately I began to attract the similar concept of purpose, reason, meaning. Which at first was a bit frustrating, since as soon as Reverend Reggie mentioned the topic to me, my mind had already begun turning in the direction which at the time wasn't really on the same road as purpose. I mean, on the same road as zeal. I have since then come to realize that this notion of purpose, which I kept attracting, is very intimately linked and somewhat essential to the notion of zeal, or spiritual enthusiasm. The connection being, in order for us to have enthusiasm or energy to pursue something, or zeal, it requires a clear and focused sense of self, a clearly defined and rationalized purpose, or raison d'etre, in relation to this goal or objective. If there was a point for you all to write down, it would be that one. I'm going to say it again. In order for us to have great enthusiasm or energy, joy, the joy that is your what? Your strength, okay? To pursue something, it requires a clear and focused sense of self, a clearly defined and rationalized purpose in relation to this goal or objective. Raison d'etre speaks to this question